Hi everyone. I thought we would have a really informal video today because it's just that time of the year. I was in HomeSense and that kind of gave me the idea of what I wanted to do for this video. You know, I like to have my videos where I sit down and I talk about the things that I either am buying or the things that I am not buying. So I thought in this video, since it's autumn and a new season, I would focus on the things that I'm buying this autumn for my small retired life, and some of the things that I am not buying. And if I'm not buying something, maybe talk about why I'm not buying it, or maybe show you that I already have something that's kind of like it and I can just shop my home. So let's do a video like that. I know people are always curious about what people buy and spend their money on. I know I am, and I actually enjoy watching videos when people talk about what they're buying or not buying. My favorite YouTuber calls it the anti-haul videos, and so maybe that's like a great title. So my name is Raina and this is Small Retired Life, and on my channel we talk about fun things and some of the challenging things in retirement and just living our life in our 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s and beyond. If you're new, welcome here. Before we really get into the meat of the video, I do want to say that, and I'll probably say this again at some point in the video, none of these opinions or things that I'm talking about in any way have sponsored the content of this video. These are all things I either enjoy or I just don't enjoy, so I don't buy them or don't need them. And secondly, I personally try to be super intentional lately, especially since I've been retired, on the types of things I buy. But in no way am I saying that it is wrong to buy these things. My opinion about shopping is that I don't think it's a good idea to have a ton of stuff and to overshop, or to get yourself in a position where you're shopping too much and then you're in some kind of a financial crisis. That's a totally separate thing. But if something truly gives you pleasure and you really enjoy it, like for example, I have friends that love doing seasonal decor shopping. It's something that makes them happy. They love decorating their homes and, you know, they like to shop for things. Life is just too short to be sitting here worrying about this kind of stuff. If something really makes you happy and it gives you a lot of pleasure and you feel good and you look forward to it every year, just go ahead and buy your stuff. So all I'm doing in this video is talking about kind of my own little things. Autumn is this weird season for me because it's my favorite season of the year. It's also when I find that there's the most temptation for me to shop, just because there's all this cute autumnal stuff that is being pushed at everyone all over the place. It's the season of pumpkin spice and Halloween, and we start getting Christmas decor in the stores, and it's all really overwhelming. So I just thought I would kind of go through what I am buying this autumn and what I'm not buying. I was in HomeSense the other day, and this is kind of what prompted this video. Of course, as per usual, HomeSense was filled with what I think, this is my opinion, ghastly, plasticky, seasonal decor, Halloween type atrocities that I guess everyone wants to buy because Halloween is coming. And it seems to me that we decorate a lot more for Halloween than maybe even like 15 years ago. I mean, I don't remember when I was like in my 20s and had my kids. that I was out there buying a ton of Halloween decor. I mean, we would be carving pumpkins and making hot cocoa and that type of thing. And the stores certainly didn't have the type of Halloween decor that I see today. And I am definitely not participating in purchasing this plasticky Halloween decor. Now, to be fair, I have to be honest. If I was shopping with my grandchildren or something and they fell in love with some Halloween atrocity stuffed thing or other and they wanted me to buy it for them, I might do that because, you know, I'm a softie. So what am I doing instead? Well, the one place that isn't as horrible as what I'm finding in some of these big stores is my local garden center. It has a great selection of autumnal plants, and I did buy some mums for my little tiny patio. I like to put them in the window and I can see them from the inside when I'm knitting and sitting in my favorite chair. And I can also see them when I'm outside, and they are absolutely lovely and they definitely give me that autumn vibe. They're not expensive, and once they die off, they are fully compostables. Also, there's always a great selections of gourds and little pumpkins, and I like buying those because I kind of tuck them in all over my house, especially the little ones. And I like them because by like the end of October, they're kind of shriveled up and I can compost them. And they're inexpensive and a great way to add that little touch of autumn and Halloween. The other thing that I like to do is I like to decorate with my plants. I'm a plant person. I admit I'm one of these plant people. Do you remember during the plague when we were all locked inside our houses and there were all these plant people and they had like 300 plants in their house? That was me. I was one of those people. I have since downsized my plant collection substantially, but that being said, I still love my plants and I really enjoy kind of making them part of my home decor and my autumn type decor. So I just, you know, shop my plants and I don't get too excited about, you know, the plants. If one of them dies, well, it dies. I will just replace it. Buying plants nowadays is no longer a huge outlay of money. I also really enjoy decorating with real pumpkins and squashes that I'm going to cook up into something delicious. These are natural food products that look beautiful on my counter and that also provide me with some nutritious meals. I love cooking up a good kabocha squash and putting it on top of salad. I always make it with a little bit of cinnamon on top, like coated in olive oil and cinnamon. Okay, problems here. Cinnamon and a little bit of nutmeg, and I roast it in the oven. Then I put it on top of some greens with just a homemade chicken burger or beef burger or whatever you're into, with a little bit of dressing and maybe an egg on top. Very protein heavy, very delicious. And the squashes, when they're baking, they make your house smell so good, especially when you're putting a little bit of the cinnamon on them and a nutmeg, and at the end, just a little splash of maple syrup. So that's what I like to decorate with. I definitely prefer the natural look. Also on my front door, I have this wheat wreath that I bought from the garden center, I don't know, sometime. Anyways, it always comes out during autumn and I like it because it's natural. It's very plain, but it makes me happy. So as much as possible when it comes to these seasonal things, I try and shop my own house and look at the things I already have. I was horrified to notice that, I mean, I'm filming this like the first week of October, and HomeSense had Christmas stuff out. I mean, it almost felt like some kind of sacrilege to have Christmas stuff out so early. But I also noticed when I was at the garden center, they were starting to do their Christmas display. Now, their display doesn't usually open till November 1st, which I guess I can handle a little bit better. But first week of October, I don't know. Like, I don't know. What do you all think? I think that's just wrong. I definitely am not shopping for any Christmas decor either because, well, I don't need any, and I'm going to try and keep Christmas pretty simple this year, so I don't really feel like buying anything. I might buy, you know, a potted poinsettia or something like that, but otherwise, I'm just kind of not in the mood. Who knows? I may change my mind by the time we get to Christmas, but right now I am not in the mood. Okay, let's talk about the second thing I'm not really buying or going out and shopping for, and that is clothing. I have enough clothes for winter. I have some beautiful sweaters. I pretty much live in jeans when I go out. And at this point, I'm not even sure if I will be here all winter. I may end up going to Melbourne again and being in Australia for their summer, our winter. And so I don't really need a ton of winter things. I'm really enjoying how my closet is looking right now. I really like it sparse and there isn't a ton of stuff in there right now. And I kind of like that. Now, that being said, I did buy my typical pair of, as I term them, birth control shoes, aka Birkenstocks. I live in my Birkenstock clogs and I have them in several colors. And this year I did purchase kind of a tan pair that I really like. So that was my ode to autumn winter clothing purchases. One of the things that I am doing is definitely purchasing yarn to continue to knit some sweaters. I love knitting, you all know that. I talk about it all the time, and I've got a couple of projects that, you know, are either in process or ready to get on the needles once I finish the project I'm currently working on. Now, I have completed 2 sweaters this year. There was a very lacy little affair that I can't really wear in the winter in Canada, but it might be great if I go to Melbourne. And then there is this one. This is the Ranunculus pattern by Midori Hirose. And for any of you that are knitters, you probably have made this pattern years before I did. I am late to the ranunculus trend, so I'm definitely going to treat myself to some lovely yarn, and I've already treated myself to some lovely yarn. So after my little rant about going to HomeSense, you're all probably wondering, why did you even bother going there if it was going to irritate you? And so the reason I went is because they sell my favorite chocolates. I will show it to you. It's by Ghirardelli. Hopefully this focuses well. This chocolate is, it's a milk chocolate. It's got caramel in it. Sometimes they have it with sea salt. I couldn't find it with sea salt, but I really wanted to get this chocolate. So this is something I am buying right now. I am also buying, not very often, but every now and then, I love this candy that they sell. And it's called Fruitful, and it is jelly candy. I don't buy it very often because I've been pretty good about what I'm eating, and I feel super healthy, and I've lost some weight. So I'm not in the mood for gaining that back by eating a lot of sugar. But I do love the odd candy every now and then as a treat, and this is the candy that I enjoy. It has a slightly sour taste to it, and I like anything that has a hint of sour. Let's talk about skincare. You all know I am a CeraVe girl. I like my CeraVe, but every now and then I like to switch things up and try something new and decadent, especially if I don't have to pay for it. And so I typically never buy expensive skincare. I'm not sure if it's any different than my CeraVe or if it makes that much of a difference. But the one kind of skincare I always have loved, and I use their body lotion quite a bit, is Clarins. And Clarins has been around forever. I think my mom had some Clarins stuff, so it holds a little bit of a memory. Well, believe it or not, I'm one of these dumb people. I have been collecting these Shoppers Drug Mart point things. You know, when you go, for all the American peeps, Shoppers Drug Mart in Canada is kind of like, I don't know, it's like kind of like maybe your CVS or like one of your bigger drugstore type stores. Maybe if someone has a good equivalent, they can mention that in the comments. But in any case, Shoppers Drug Mart has what I call Old People's Day. So on Thursdays, if you're, I think it's over 55 or 60 plus, I can't remember, you get 20% off. And that includes like all of these fancy cosmetic name brands like Dior and all of those. You get 20% off. Now, I had no idea that they did this until a few weeks ago. I also had no idea that all of these points that I was collecting actually equate to cash. And I happened to be at Shoppers Drug Mart a few weeks ago, and this lady said, you know, you have like close to $400 worth of cash. She goes, you can actually like buy something really fancy and it'll be free. So I was astounded. I had no idea. I don't know. I just don't really pay attention to these point things. So I went on Old People's Day and I bought a few Clarins products because essentially, even though they're expensive, I got them for free by the time I used all of my cash points and I got the discounts. And so these are the things that I purchased. I got their body lotion, which I love. I have always loved their body lotion. I've never bought it because I think it's quite expensive. I really can't remember how much it was. But I got a little sample of it like a long time ago and I absolutely loved it. And typically I don't use up any of these samples that they give you, but this is one I used up. I love this body lotion, and I don't know if I'll be able to buy it again in the future, but I'm enjoying it right now. The other thing that I really enjoy from them is I noticed I'm getting a little bit of discoloration along here, and I don't know whether that's because it's I had a tan in the summer, and you know, I have like super pale skin, so things kind of show up. It's a thing. Clarins has this line, it's called Bright Plus, and in a nutshell, I think it's got some vitamin C in it, and I think probably like an inexpensive vitamin C type serum of some kind probably might work the same way. I don't know. But they have a moisturizer, and then they have this serum, and it's supposed to, if you use it, it's supposed to even out your skin tone. I don't know if it does that. I'm not sure. I'm always a bit skeptical about these things, but all I can say is they feel amazing on my skin. The moisturizer especially is super awesome. It's kind of got this slight light feel to it, like a lotiony texture, which I like. So it's not greasy. I have pretty dry skin. You know, I mean, I could probably use a slightly stronger moisturizer, but I don't. I hate when my face feels kind of like greasy and stuff. And I did get another moisturizer from them. It's called Calm Essential. And this is probably my favorite thing ever. It is for very, very sensitive skin, which is me. I don't like fragrance. I don't like anything. And this has such a beautiful texture. It's not too greasy. It kind of calms the skin down. So I got all of these items from clearance that I didn't actually even really pay for. Would I get them otherwise? I don't know. Maybe if I become a little addicted to them, I might, but they are pretty expensive and I'm kind of a drugstore brand girl, but we'll see how we do. This is a treat. Every now and then, it's good to have a treat because life is too short. All right, everyone. Well, this is it for this week. These are the things that I'm kind of digging right now or not digging and therefore won't be buying, and love to hear what you're buying, what you're not buying in the comment section below. And I will see you all next week with maybe a little more serious video as per the norm. Otherwise, have a wonderful week and I'll see you at our regular time next week on Tuesday. Bye!